Hey up and welcome to another Restrap how-to. Today we're looking at the bar bag. This is the large version. We've got a small that we'll look at in a little bit. The main difference between the two though is that this has got a front pouch which carries an additional 3 litres of carrying capacity. It's really useful for just stuff that you want to access on the move. I quite often keep a map in there if you're going old school and using paper maps still, but an extra layer, snacks, camera, that kind of thing. It's a harness holster style system. So carries a 14 litre double-ended dry bag, and that comes with the holster itself and as part of the package. And the really nice thing is once the harness section is fitted, you get to your destination, take the dry bag out, wander in, and the harness is still attached to the bike. You then put it all back together again the next morning, and it's just so much easier than trying to refit the whole thing when you're setting off the next day. We've got a cam locking system there, which is so simple and straightforward and quick to use. When it comes to actually fitting and removing the pouch on the front, you open up the toggle, and what was a small webbing loop is now a piece of Hyperlon shaped to hold that toggle in place. Removing the pouch is just 2 magnetic toggles there. Click on. All it needs is for the elastic and the toggle to be placed through here, and I've used this system off-road mountain biking so many times and I've never had the actual pouch bounce off. So there we go, that's the large. Moving on to the small. Visually they're obviously super similar, got the same cam lock attachment system with the straps. The main difference is the pouch on the front, or lack of pouch on the front. Instead, we've got simple elastic, so you can still store, say, a spare waterproof, something like that, something that you've removed while you're riding along. And the nice thing about not having a pouch on here as well is you can imagine when this is attached to the bars, it actually frees up the top space for a light, for tri-bars if you're running tri-bars, that kind of thing. So make your own decision about what you would prefer, extra carrying capacity or the ability to have some extra stuff on the bars. So obviously it's worth remembering though that with the large, you don't have to run the pouch, you can leave that at home if you need to. Right, and onto the fitting. Just open up all these straps before I start, and just makes it a little bit easier when we get to putting it on the bike. As with all bike packing luggage really, it's really worth just protecting your frame and forks when you do it. So just pop tape on any of the contact points and it'll stop the paint getting worn away. Feel free to use your own tape, or we've got the Restrap frame protection tape, which is actually designed for the purpose. So one of the things that we get with the camming buckles is occasionally they can get spun around, so they end up looking like that. You come to trying to thread it through and it's like, it won't go, and you open it up and it's just impossible to do. All you need to do is spin this round so the lever section is facing away from the strap that you're trying to feed through. Then it's simply a matter of opening up, feeding the strap in, and you're good to go. And one thing to always pay attention with your attaching stuff to the bars is just looking out for cables, making sure that you're not obstructing them at all. And the 2 pieces of foam that we've got between the strap and the bag do make things a little bit easier there as well. And it's super easy to snug that up nice and tight now as well by just pulling down. There we go, so that's mostly fitted to the bike now. Just to keep everything super secure and stable, we have these additional straps that wrap around the fork legs, one either side, and these are just ladder locks, and pull that tight there. Do this other side, and it's worth just tightening that up pretty well, because that is what's going to stop the bag from bouncing up and down. And particularly with this, you're doing it in the knowledge that you're not going to need to take it off until you finish your bike packing trip. This is a 56 centimetre bike, I think, and we've got plenty of clearance there between the bottom of the bag and the top of the tyre, so there's never going to be any tyre buzz. It can be an issue on smaller frames, so what you need to look for is make sure that you've got 23 centimetres between the bottom of the bars and the top of the tyre there. And if you've got less than that, then say it's probably worth looking at something like the bar pack that we do, or the canister bag, and looking at alternative ways for storing stuff across the frame. And we've got loads of different solutions that may work better for you. I guess one last thing to show is simply remove those buckles and got the dry bag, got your sleeping bag. It's what I usually keep in here, stuff for overnight. And you can carry that into your tent, into a bothy, into the hotel, wherever you're staying, and leave everything else attached onto the bike.